All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. You know, we love to go deep. And today we're going deep on HR.
Ooh, HR human resources.
Yes, that's right. And to make it even more exciting, more tangible, we're going to do it through the lens of a fictional company.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, it's a company called InnovateCo. And this InnovateCo is led by Maria Fernandez, our fictional CEO. And she did some pretty amazing things with HR.
I think a lot of times people, when they hear HR, they think of like, oh, kind of a boring back office kind of function.
Paperwork policies, yeah.
Exactly. Not very exciting. But InnovateCo is a really good example of what happens when you really take HR seriously and think about the people as being the real core of the business.
Okay, so Maria Fernandez, what was her sort of fundamental philosophy about HR?
So she really had this vision that for a business to truly succeed, all departments needed to be integrated and supporting the company's overall goals.
Oh, so it's not just like HR is doing their thing over here
Yeah.
and then operations is doing their thing over here and never the two shall meet.
Exactly. She was really about breaking down those silos. So it wasn't just operations and HR, but also, marketing, finance, everything had to be aligned.
So give me an example of how that would play out in a real world situation.
Okay, so let's say InnovateCo is launching a new product line.
Okay.
In a traditional company, you might see operations just focused on the production side of things.
Right. Just get that product out the door.
Exactly. Marketing is going to be focused on how do we advertise this, and finance is going to be focused on the budget.
Right, right.
But Maria recognized that true success requires a much more holistic approach.
Okay, so she's bringing everybody to the table.
Exactly.
To collaborate.
Yeah, marketing needs to understand the production timeline so they can craft a timely campaign.
Right.
Finance needs to work closely with operations to make sure they've got the resources they need.
Uh-huh.
And then where does HR fit into all of this?
Yeah, where does HR fit in?
Well, HR is making sure that we have the right people with the right skills in place to make this whole operation run smoothly.
Ah, okay. So HR is kind of like the grease that makes the whole machine work.
Exactly. It's talent management. It's making sure we have the right people in the right roles at the right time.
I like that. Okay, so Maria's got this vision of integration, but I'm also imagining that she probably wasn't a huge fan of those traditional kind of rigid company structures.
You're reading her mind. She recognized very early on that InnovateCo's hierarchical structure was really hindering their ability to be agile and responsive in the market.
Right, because we all know those hierarchies can be a bit stifling.
Exactly.
So what did she do to shake things up?
Well, she focused on 3 key areas: delayering, delegation, and decentralization.
Okay, break those down for me.
All right, so delayering this is all about streamlining the chain of command.
So cutting out some layers of management.
Exactly, getting rid of those unnecessary layers.
Okay.
What this does is it allows for faster communication and decision-making.
Which in today's world is absolutely crucial.
Couldn't agree more. Then there's delegation. So Maria was all about empowering her managers and her team leaders, giving them more autonomy to make decisions.
Gotcha, so trusting your people to do the right thing and make the right calls.
And this really boosted morale.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, if you feel like you've got ownership over something, you're going to be way more invested in it.
Exactly. And then finally, decentralization.
Okay, tell me about that one.
So this was all about pushing decision-making power closer to the teams that were actually doing the work.
So instead of decisions being made in some ivory tower, they're being made by the people who are actually, in the trenches.
Exactly. They're the ones closest to the action.
Right. They know what's going on.
They have that expertise, and it just makes the whole process much more efficient.
Yeah, and it probably leads to better decisions as well.
Absolutely. And here's where it gets really interesting. All of these structural changes, they weren't just about making InnovateCo more efficient.
Okay.
They had a profound impact on the employee experience.
Right, because at the end of the day, it's the people that make the company work.
For sure.
You can have the best products in the world, but if you don't have good people, you're not going to succeed.
Exactly. And Maria understood that attracting and retaining top talent was absolutely crucial to InnovateCo's success.
Right, so let's talk about talent acquisition in a competitive market.
Mm-hmm.
What did Maria do differently to make sure that InnovateCo was attracting the best and the brightest?
Oh, the first step was really understanding what the company needed, and not just like, what are the skills required for this role,
Right.
but also thinking about personality traits and cultural fit.
So really understanding the whole person,
Exactly.
not just what's on their resume.
Right. And from there, they crafted really clear job descriptions so candidates knew exactly what they were getting into.
Okay.
And then the selection process, this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay, tell me more.
They went beyond the standard interview. They incorporated group exercises to assess teamwork and problem-solving skills.
Okay.
They used aptitude tests.
To really gauge those skills.
Exactly, and even personality assessments to get a better understanding of a candidate's work style.
That makes a lot of sense. I mean, so many times you go into a job interview and it's really just kind of like a, song and dance. You're trying to impress the person across the table from you. But are you really getting a sense of whether you're a good fit for the company?
Exactly. And Maria really believed that building a team wasn't just about ticking boxes on a checklist.
Right.
It was about finding individuals who would really complement each other.
And thrive in the company culture.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got this really dynamic, collaborative work environment. But now we need to talk about motivation.
Yes, of course.
Because, you can have all the perks in the world, but people need to be motivated to actually do the work.
For sure. And Maria knew that motivation's complicated. It's not just about money, although obviously you have to pay people fairly.
Of course.
But she recognized the need for a more holistic approach.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Mm.
So tell me about this blend of financial and non-financial incentives that she used.
All right, let's dive in.
Let's do it.
So on the financial side, InnovateCo offered competitive salaries, of course, making sure they were in line with industry standards to attract top talent.
Yeah, you got to pay people what they're worth, right?
Absolutely. But it wasn't just about base pay. Maria also implemented performance-based commissions for the sales teams.
Oh, so tying their rewards directly to their effort.
Exactly. Incentivizing high performance.
I like that.
And to foster a sense of ownership and shared success, she introduced a profit-sharing program for all employees.
Oh, that's cool. So everybody kind of has a stake in the company's overall success.
Exactly. It's not just about individual success. It's about the collective success of the company.
Right. Everybody's rowing in the same direction.
Exactly. But, as you mentioned earlier, money isn't everything.
Right.
So Maria knew that to truly engage and motivate her employees, she had to create a work environment that went beyond just the financial rewards.
Okay, so let's talk about those non-financial perks.
Yeah.
What did InnovateCo do to make it such a desirable place to work?
Okay, are you ready for this?
Hit me.
They subsidized electric car leases for their employees.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, not only is this promoting sustainability,
Uh-huh.
but it's also providing a tangible benefit that really aligns with their values.
Yeah, they're not just talking the talk, they're walking the walk.
Exactly. And they also offer gym memberships,
Okay, keeping everybody healthy.
promoting a healthy work-life balance for sure.
I like it.
But there's more.
Okay, there's more. I'm intrigued. What else do they offer?
They provided free, healthy lunches for all employees every day.
Wow, every day. That's amazing.
Yeah, so this not only encourages healthy eating habits,
Mm-hmm.
but it also creates this sense of community.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, because people are coming together, they're interacting outside of their specific teams.
Yeah, it's a great way to kind of build those relationships and make people feel like they're part of something bigger.
Exactly. Maria understood that a happy and healthy workforce is a productive workforce.
Makes sense.
But wait, there's more.
Okay, more perks. Bring it on.
InnovateCo was deeply committed to investing in their employees' growth and development.
Ah, training and development. I love it. The key to unlocking potential. Tell me more.
All right, so they offered a range of training programs to meet the diverse needs of their employees.
Okay.
For new hires, they had a really comprehensive induction program.
Okay, so setting the stage from day one.
Exactly. It wasn't just about covering company policies and procedures.
Yeah.
It was also about immersing new employees in the company, culture, and values.
Making them feel like they're part of the team.
Exactly. But they didn't stop there. InnovateCo also provided ongoing on-the-job training.
Oh, that's fantastic. So people can learn by doing.
Exactly. They're shadowing experienced colleagues. They're getting hands-on experience in their roles.
Yeah, and I bet that really helps with employee retention too.
Absolutely. And to round out their training program, they also offered off-the-job training opportunities like workshops, online courses, and even industry conferences.
Wow, so really covering all the bases from, foundational knowledge to really specialized skills.
Exactly. Maria truly believed in the power of continuous learning and development.
And I'm sure the employees really appreciated that investment.
Oh, absolutely. They did. It led to a more skilled and adaptable workforce.
Uh-huh.
And it also boosted morale and engagement.
Yeah, it makes sense when you feel like your company's investing in you, you're more likely to invest in them.
Exactly. But of course, all of this training requires resources and time and money. Did Maria ever express any concerns about the cost of all this?
Yeah, that's a great question because training can be expensive.
Absolutely. And Maria was very aware of the financial commitment required for such an extensive training program, but she always emphasized that it wasn't simply a cost.
It was an investment.
Exactly. She saw it as an investment in the future of the company.
I like that way of looking at it.
Yeah, and she didn't just focus on the financial outlay.
Uh-huh.
She looked at the tangible results.
Like what kind of results?
Improved employee performance, increased productivity, and the ability to adapt to new technologies and market trends.
So it's about looking at the big picture, not just the immediate costs.
Exactly. And, Maria also recognized that a truly thriving work environment requires flexibility.
Oh yeah, flexibility is huge these days.
It is, and InnovateCo didn't just offer the standard full-time contracts.
Okay, so tell me about their approach to flexibility.
They offered a range of contract types to accommodate different needs and priorities. So, of course, they had full-time contracts for their core team members,
Uh-huh.
but they also offered part-time roles.
Which is great for people who are maybe looking for a better work-life balance or have other commitments.
Exactly, and they even went a step further and offered zero-hour contracts.
Oh, interesting, for seasonal workers or something like
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So they could scale their workforce up or down depending on the needs of the business.
So being agile and responsive to the market.
Absolutely. And this flexible approach to contracts not only benefited the company,
Right.
it also enhanced their reputation as an employer that really cared about their employees' well-being.
Yeah, I bet that made them even more attractive to top talent.
Absolutely. And speaking of attracting top talent, let's talk about those perks.
Yes, the perks we touched on, the electric car leases and the gym memberships, which are amazing.
Right.
But I have a feeling there's more.
Oh, there's definitely more.
Okay, spill the beans. What other goodies were they showering upon their lucky employees?
Okay, so they offered subsidized childcare,
Wow.
generous parental leave policies.
That's fantastic.
They even had a program that provided financial assistance for employees who wanted to pursue further education.
No way. So they're really thinking about their employees' long-term well-being.
Exactly. It's not just about attracting talent. It's about creating an environment where people feel supported and valued throughout their entire careers.
I love that. And I'm guessing all these perks weren't just randomly selected.
You're right. They were very strategic about it. They made sure that all the perks and benefits aligned with the company's values and goals.
So it's not just about offering cool stuff to impress people. It's about creating a coherent and purposeful approach to employee benefits.
Exactly. But, with all these amazing perks and benefits,
Yeah.
I'm sure it wasn't always easy to manage.
Yeah, I was just thinking that it sounds like a logistical nightmare.
Of course, it required careful planning and administration.
All right.
But Maria recognized the importance of streamlining those processes.
Uh-huh.
So they implemented a really user-friendly online platform where employees could easily access and manage their benefits.
Oh, so taking the headache out of it.
Exactly, making it easy for employees to take advantage of all the great things that InnovateCo had to offer.
Yeah, and I bet that saved the company time and money as well.
Absolutely it did. And it also contributed to a more positive employee experience.
It all comes back to the employee experience, doesn't it?
It really does.
Well, I'm really impressed with Maria's holistic approach to HR. It's not just about ticking boxes or following trends. It's
Right.
about creating a work environment that truly supports and empowers employees at every level.
And it's important to remember that Maria's journey wasn't without its challenges.
Oh, I'm sure.
Implementing these changes required a significant shift in mindset, not just from the leadership team, but from the entire organization.
Yeah, change can be tough, especially in a corporate setting where people are often resistant to new ways of doing things.
Exactly. So how did Maria overcome those challenges and bring everyone on board with her vision?
That's a great question.
Well, she understood that communication was key. She didn't just dictate changes from the top down. She actively engaged with employees at all levels.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, she explained her vision, she addressed their concerns, she sought their input along the way.
Well, it was a collaborative process.
Exactly. She was very transparent and she was willing to listen, and that created a sense of trust and buy-in from the workforce.
Yeah, that's so important when you're trying to drive change.
Couldn't agree more.
Now, I'm curious, with all the emphasis on finding the perfect cultural fit,
Yeah.
did they ever worry about limiting diversity within the company?
That's a valid concern, and Maria was very aware of that. She understood that diversity of thought and perspective is absolutely crucial for innovation and growth.
Right.
So while cultural fit was important, they made sure that their recruitment process was inclusive, and it didn't inadvertently exclude candidates from diverse backgrounds.
So striking a balance
Yeah, let's-
between, finding people who align with the company's values,
Yeah.
but also embracing the richness that diversity brings.
Exactly, and they actually implemented various initiatives to promote diversity within the workforce.
Like what kind of initiative?
So they partnered with organizations that support underrepresented groups.
Okay.
They provided unconscious bias training for hiring managers.
So really taking concrete steps to ensure that diversity is woven into the fabric of the company.
Absolutely. And this commitment to diversity wasn't just about doing the right thing.
Right.
It was also about creating a more dynamic and innovative work environment, one that really reflected the diverse world we live in.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked a lot about InnovateCo's approach to HR,
Yes, we have.
and it's clear that Maria Fernandez's vision and leadership played a huge role in their success.
Absolutely.
But I'm curious about the impact on the business itself.
Yeah.
Did all these HR initiatives actually translate into tangible results?
That is the question, isn't it?
It is the million-dollar question.
And the answer is a resounding yes. Caraca's innovative HR practices didn't just create a happy and engaged workforce.
Huh.
They also had a very significant impact on the company's bottom line.
All right, so let's talk numbers. What kind of results are we talking about here?
Okay, so their employee retention rates skyrocketed.
Wow, that's huge.
It is the investment in training and development, coupled with those amazing perks and benefits, created a work environment where people really wanted to stay and grow their careers.
Yeah, so they're saving money on recruitment and onboarding costs,
Absolutely.
and they're benefiting from a more experienced and knowledgeable workforce.
Exactly. It's a win-win situation, and this increased retention had a ripple effect on productivity.
Oh,
Happy and engaged employees were more motivated to contribute their best work.
makes sense.
This led to higher quality output and faster turnaround times.
So not only are they keeping their top talent, but they're also seeing a real improvement in their performance.
Exactly. And this positive momentum extended to their recruitment efforts as well.
Oh, how so?
Well, as InnovateCo's reputation as a great place to work spread, they found it much easier to attract top-tier talent.
Oh, yeah, I bet people were lining up to work there.
Exactly. It's a virtuous cycle. A positive work environment attracts talented individuals, which in turn fuels further growth and success.
It all comes back to the people.
It really does. And all of this translated into financial success for InnovateCo.
I'll give you the highlights.
Revenues increased steadily, profits soared, and they became known for their innovative products and their exceptional customer service.
Wow. So it's clear that InnovateCo's HR-focused approach wasn't just about creating a feel-good work environment. It was a strategic decision that had a direct and positive impact on their overall business success.
And this is a lesson that any company, regardless of its size or industry, can learn from.
What's the main takeaway?
Investing in your people isn't just the right thing to do, it's also the smart thing to do.
I love that it's a reminder that HR is so much more than just paperwork and policies.
Absolutely.
It's about creating a thriving ecosystem where people and the business can grow and succeed together.
Exactly. And before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final question for you.
So if Maria were here with us today,
Yeah.
what's like one piece of advice she would give to companies looking to create, that kind of engaged and productive work environment?
That's a good question. I think she'd probably start by saying, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to HR.
Right.
What worked for InnovateCo might not work for every company out there.
So you got to find what works for you.
Exactly. Find what works for your culture and your goals. But I think she would also say that the most important thing is to truly value your employees.
Yeah.
See them as assets, not expenses. Invest in their growth and development, create a work environment where they feel heard and respected, and give them the tools and the resources they need to succeed.
Yeah. It's about creating a partnership. Right?
Exactly. A shared journey where everyone's working towards that common goal.
And when you create that kind of environment, I think the results speak for themselves.
I agree.
Well, this has been such an inspiring deep dive. I mean, looking at HR through the lens of InnovateCo and Maria Fernandez's story, I think it's a testament to the power of HR.
Yeah.
It can be a real force for positive change, not just within a company, but within society as a whole.
Absolutely. And it reminds us that business success isn't just about profits.
Right.
It's about creating a positive impact on the lives of the people who make that success possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we want to thank Google Notebook LM for providing the insightful content for this episode.
This has been a PLC strategy production.